This Thursday we're at Lowe's. I just got done with yoga. I'm looking for some pots to start planting. I was going to plant flowers in, some seeds. So I'm just, and then I'm also looking at getting some dwarf fruit trees for my place so I can start growing lemons and oranges. Hopefully working on my little farm today, which will be great. Be happy about that. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's Sunday, just got done cold plunging, shivering. I had to do all my 11 minutes in one shot. Just like a quick update of the week. Woo! PMSing. So that's been mostly my week of just feeling bloaty and tired, having a food binge before nothing. So the past couple of days I really haven't had anything major to eat. Just been eating really light. Yesterday I wasn't feeling great, so I stayed home the whole day and just went to church and came home. Dating update. I didn't have a date this week, but we're planning on another date for this upcoming weekend. And so, yeah, I'm still talking to this guy, and we're both still trying to fill each other out. So this weekend I'm just going to focus on myself and enjoy my quiet time. Hopefully I can get disciplined enough to focus on my studies, and then also trying to figure out if I have to talk to this guy. We're gonna, our project together, which will be building my little garden, and I think I want like a little mini greenhouse as well, so I can grow like salad greens. Yeah, other than that, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm freezing my buns off and I have to warm up. I also need to do a lot of... Okay, so did I talk to you guys about my garden that I'm doing? So I'm pretty sure I brought this up in previous videos, but I am starting my garden. I've been saying this for years and years and years, that I was gonna start like a little garden for myself and start growing like vegetables and stuff. And after this month, I looked at my grocery bill and how many times I went to the grocery store and how much money I spent. It was absolutely out of control. So I am going to start this garden. It's going to be organic, and I'm just either I'm going to buy a plant or we're going to build it. I have to discuss this with this guy that's going to help me build it. I have to talk about it, but I really want to do like a lot of hands-on stuff, like, you know, building the planter and things like that. And then I started my seedlings. So I started them this week. I have lavender, mint, basil, thyme. I believe I also have sage. I planted some tomato seeds, and I need to go pick up. I'll probably pick up on like Friday afternoon or whatnot. I'm going to go pick up different lettuce, spinach, maybe kale. And I'm really want to start like either a small little greenhouse that I can put them in to grow, or I'm going to get like a cold frame. And it's similar to a greenhouse, except it's still built like it's a raised bed, but there's just a window or something on it to trap the heat inside. So that's my idea, because I think it would number one, I just want the lettuce and stuff to grow all the time. And that way, if I just need to like want it to make a salad, I can just go and clip things off and it will protect it from bugs and stuff like that. So I have those things started. I also planted some marigold and some California poppies. The marigolds help with pest control. So I'm going, once they sprout, and they're supposed to sprout pretty quickly, once I get my planter, I'm going to plant those in and then move forward with the rest of all of my little plants that I'll do. So I'm going to go take care of my seeds, and I have like a little mini greenhouse that I have. I think that's pretty much it. I'm starting with that. And then ultimately I want to do the lettuce, because these are the things that eat the most. So it's going to be lettuce and squash, and I still want to get a mandarin tree, a little like dwarf one that's like a smaller tree, and a lemon tree. And basically I want to be able to grow all the stuff that I use at home. I also need to do some garlic too. I actually learned a cool trick on how to mince garlic on like some chef showed it. I was like, oh my God, it's so easy. So I could have like fresh garlic, and I don't need too many of those. So that's my plan. I want it to be aesthetically pleasing. So when I look outside or when I walk up and I see my garden, it's really cute. I want it compacted and I want it on wheels so that you know, if I need to move it, I can move it somewhere. If it needs more sun, I can just shift it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just in this like homesteading mode, and I came up. Okay, this is the area where I want it. So we already have a tree here. Hey guys, so I'm gonna give you guys a little peek at my little seedlings. They're not sprouting yet, but I thought, hey, let me show you the process. Picked this up at Lowe's. And so I have all my little seedlings in here, and I am just spraying them down. I think this is mostly herbs, if I remember right. So I have those guys. Those are sitting on my windowsill, and then I have another container that has the mint and the sage and the basil. I think I have like lemon balm. That's another type of plant that you can use in tea. So I'm also considering getting a dehydrator so that I can dehydrate my leaves, my flowers and things like that, and make tea. And then also if I get an abundance of like fruit, that I can dry them out or make like apple chips or whatnot. I might be able to make my own fruit jerky or whatever. So that's kind of what I'm up to, and I'm just kind of looking over where I'm going to put this planter, and I need to make sure that they at least get like 6 hours of direct sunlight. So I think where I'm going to put it is going to be okay, I think. We have a fruit tree right next to it, and it's already blooming, and there's fruit already on the tree. So yeah, I might also go harvest those off as well, but I'm excited. I can't wait. So now I just have to determine what type of planter I want to either buy or build from scratch. So if we're going to build it from scratch, it just needs to be really simple. So I saved a couple of different DIY projects that we could make really easily. And then I had a thought that maybe we go to Habitat for Humanity. They have like a warehouse where you can go and get discounted supplies for your home, and you can find like doors and things like that there, that maybe I might be able to find a window that we can make. And I would just need, so I can make a cold frame. So all I would need is just the outside wood part, and then a hinge so that I can open up and down the cold frame. So that's going to be my next thing that I do. I have to wait till Friday to be able to get all the rest of the things that I want to grow. I also want to grow bell pepper. And then the other thing with sneaking, I'm like, well, if I grow too much, I can always take it to work and just leave it in our break room, and people will come by and they'll just take stuff home. And we do that every week. Our work offers like a food pantry, and so they go to bank and are able to bring food back for our employees. So, and they have like diapers and things like that they bring for the staff, and they can come pick it up if they want it. So I figured I'll just do that. And then I'm already thinking about the holidays with everything that I have that I want to make. For sure want to do my soaps. I have a name for my garden, if I didn't tell you guys, but I'm calling it a farm, but it's called Emerson and Rose Farm. And it's a little nod to my grandmother. And so it's a little nod to like Altadena history and things like that. So Emerson is the name of the street where my grandma's house used to be. Rose, Altadena and Pasadena is known as like the city of roses. Girl, beautiful roses there. And so I thought Emerson and Rose. I could have done Emerson and Pine because that's the cross streets where my grandma's house used to be. And I still need to go make up another trip up to LA to go see the progress on the cleanup for her house and kind of get an update on what's going on with that. And just see how the city's doing, check in on my cousin. I know it's a really long process, but that was just kind of my little nod to them and to our family history. And my coworker was actually telling me, I told her the name of it, and she was like, oh, that's really cool. She was like, you should buy the domain name and just buy them, because I guess that's what she does. She finds a domain name that she likes or that she thinks somebody else will buy, and she just buys them up. So I think I'm going to get the name Emerson and Rose. And then I just started having this huge brainstorm all week long for the past, I think it started like Wednesday or Thursday, and I just started coming up with ideas. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go on Chat GPT and I'm just going to, write down all these things that I'm thinking about. And it gave me so many great ideas of what I can do with all of the things that I'm growing. And so I'm thinking of making baskets and, you know, and soaps and things like that, and things that are locally harvested and things that I'm going to grow here, and I'm going to like gift them, especially around the holidays, and make little baskets and things like that. And then I'm also going to just be learning a lot, like how to make my own tea. It should be pretty simple. I think it's just you dehydrate the leaves in a dehydrator or in the oven, and you have to put them in the oven on a very low temperature, and it's several hours. And then there's, oh, the other way is that you like air dry them, and that takes, you know, like a couple of weeks, I think. So I was thinking of getting a dehydrator, and then you use a processor, and then you break it down, and that's your tea. So I'm trying to figure out all of that and how to make that work. I watched a really good documentary. So I ended up watching a documentary on Netflix last night called You Are What You Eat. And basically it's a study that they have twins do this food study where they have them, one twin eats plant-based and the other twin continues to eat like a carnivore type diet. And at the end of the study, they just wanted to see if there was any like number one, physical differences, but also like genetic differences between what they ate. And what they ended up finding out was that the specific gene for aging was actually extended. So basically being extended by eating like more vegetables, and it was less for eating, you know, more carnivore type diet. So it was completely right on track. I just didn't have anything to watch yesterday, so I was like, oh, let me pop something on, and I came across that, and it ended up being a really good docu-series that they had. And so I'm like, okay, this is like right on point with what I want to do with growing all my food. And so really the only thing I'll need at the stores is going to be like some fresh fish and some chicken and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. And honestly, if I'm able to grow and harvest what I have, and you know, it's going to take my food bill down quite a bit, and I'll know exactly where everything is grown. So back to Emerson and Rose. So I'm for sure going to get the domain name, and I had all these ideas, and I came up even with like a fashion line, like a California country living fashion line and stuff. I went crazy. When I get an idea, I just run with it. And so I came up with different baskets and things that I can make here at home and that I can sell them. And then also I did like a little fashion collection that's called the Altadena collection. And I'm using kind of like the vibe of certain areas in Altadena and street names that are like well known, like Mariposa and Montecito. And, you know, I'll probably do something with Lake Avenue or whatever. But it's just kind of a nod to the town that means a lot to our family. So I came up with some really cool outfits, I think. And then I have a green dress that I made that has like roses on it, and it's called Altadena Rose dress. And I came up with a tunic. It was like a Spanish style tunic and I think actually it's Mendocino. Yeah, so it's Mendocino tunic is what it is. It's kind of where my mind's at. I don't know. I have all these great ideas, but it's actually like making it happen and doing it and keeping up with it. So I'm just waiting for my little sproutlings to sprout, and hopefully I'll have a better plan today of like what we're gonna do with building my planter, because I want it to be a raised bed, an elevated raised bed, so that it will just be easier. You can just come by and harvest and whatnot. So anyways, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to give me a better appreciation for how to grow your own food, and I'll know exactly where my food comes from. And I also was thinking, after watching with Love Megan, her show on Netflix, and she made candles and they were so simple. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly where I can get beeswax. I'm like, I can get beeswax from the Abbey because they have bees, they raise bees, and they sell honey and things like that and jam. And so I was like, you know what, I could probably just get beeswax there, and then I can make candles, which would be super easy. So anyway, I have all these ideas, and so yeah, my little green thumb is ready to go and excited about growing things. Yeah. You know, the only thing I've grown has been like succulents and stuff like that. And fitness this week, had a couple of classes canceled, so I had to basically kind of will myself to work out this week, which was really hard. I was just bloaty and not feeling good all week, but I just went and I did a little bit of movement. Friday we had a killer, I was solo on Friday, so of course I got killed, and I had a really hard workout. And so going back to the whole Tabata mix, where we're doing like active recovery. And so, you know, you'll finish whatever workout that you're doing, and then you're either go take a lap around the gym, or you're doing, you know, little step taps. It's just crazy. It's hard, and you're wiped out at the end of the class. But those are the things that I need so I can start burning off extra fat. Talked about my ridiculous bill for groceries and eating and things like that. And so I have to do a better job, like hormonally, with my body. And then, yeah, the podcast, I still rolling on that. I just remembered that I need to record a couple of more people. I have like 3 more guests that I need to get done. And then I have one that's in the reserve that I hope I got all the audio for. So anyways, yeah, so that's my update this week, guys. And yeah, thanks for hanging in there with me through all this crazy stuff. But yeah, so I'm really pushing. I need to drink more water. So this week I think was easier nutrition wise, just because I didn't feel like eating. So my main things was I was eating a really big salad for lunch and fish, and that was pretty much most of it. And then I would have like cashews or pistachios, and then I'll have like a little like dairy-free ice cream at the end of the night. And that was basically all I ate all day. And towards the end of the week, I started having like apples and some other things to supplement what I normally would be eating. So this coming week, I'm gonna really regroup and really focus on the fresh salads. I need roasted carrots, and I'm not like a big carrot person. Like, you know, carrots are healthy, and I always buy them and then I don't eat them. They're just sitting in the fridge for months and they're just there. But I actually got a carrot soup recipe from one of my coworkers, and so she was just like, oh yeah. I was like, I've never even heard of carrot soup. And so she like immediately sent me a link, and I was like, you know what, this actually doesn't sound horrible. And it was Whole30 compliant. You would just have to switch out. I think in some other recipes there are like, you can use cream, but you can use like coconut cream instead, or coconut milk. So with all of that being said, now I'm saving different recipes for a future cookbook. I've been always wanting to do a cookbook forever. Roasted carrots was super easy. Peel them, cut them in half, and then throw them in some olive oil, or I think I use avocado oil, and salt and pepper. I had some extra garlic herb spices here, and then throw it in for 20 minutes and it was done. So I'm really in like my homestead moment mood right now. I might be over it in a couple weeks, but I just feel like this is like my homestead era that I need to really embrace. So anyways, if you like this video, next week I should have a fun video, because we're going, I believe I'm going on a date on a weekend. So I think we're going to go back to Cabrillo. Pretty there. And I was like, I'm like, I already went there last week. I said, but I'm willing to go again because I really like it. And there's a lot of different hiking trails that you can go down, and the view's pretty. And then we're going to go to lunch. And so that should be nice. So I don't know where we're going, but he says he's making a reservation. So I'm like, sweet. So anyways, you guys will come along with me on that one. And yeah, the whole dating update, we're still getting to know each other and trying to feel each other out. I keep saying that, but it's, you know, I'm trying to get to know, like, get a really good sense of who this person is, and I'm still having a hard time figuring that out. So anyways, stay tuned for next week, and you'll be coming along on my date with me. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Subscriptions took a little pop up the past couple weeks, so thank you guys so much for subscribing. And we have a video every single Wednesday. You can count on that, so make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.